safer world is possible, and together we can and will make it happen. Thank you.
When you show up in community, you find that group that makes you feel like home, but oftentimes you also find yourself again.
So we basically interviewed royal experts about Harry and Meghan's interview 2 days before anyone had actually seen it.
And invited them on a fake TV show and said, would you give your instant post-match analysis to the interview that's going on CBS? Unfortunately, because it's television, we do have to pre-record it, but that won't be a problem, will it? Oh no, they all said, and offered their views on an interview that, alas, they had not seen.
Did you, I mean, I don't want to ask you, I know, Archie, you also work as a magician, so I'm not going to ask you to breach magic circle rules and reveal your secrets, but did you tell them that you'd seen it?
No. We verified that neither we nor them had seen it at all. No.
And obviously you paid them, which is quite a big part of the process.
Yes, we did pay them.
We paid them the kind of fee, well, let's say we did pay them, the kind of fee they would expect to receive for a television appearance. But we thought it was important to mention to our audience that we did pay them, both because it was the truth, but also because it means that, in a sense, they are monetizing this industry.
I'm intrigued by that. I've lost an argument with my wife, actually, who's also a journalist, because I thought you might have tempted them into this indiscretion by putting more money on the table than is ordinarily available for a kind of gob on a stick gig.
No, we're saving all our money for the pub when we're allowed to go. We're not going to put more money than we need to.
Let's have sorry, go on, Josh.
To pay that amount of money.
No, well, as I say, I got that one wrong. Let's have a little listen to the results, and then we'll come back to Josh and Archie in a moment, and they can tell you how you can find out more about their work.
My name is Victoria Arbiter, A-R-B as in boy, I-T-E-R, and I am royal commentator for CNN.
Richard Fitzwilliams, royal commentator.
Ingrid Seward, I'm editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine.
You've not seen the interview yet, have you?
No.
No, great. I think we have a fair idea of where the interview's going, and we have a fair idea.
We do, definitely.
What was your overall impression of the interview?
I think that this was an extremely hard-hitting interview.
In the interview, to my mind, this was an actress giving one of her great performances. From start to finish, Meghan was acting.
Do you think, looking back now, that Oprah went rather soft on Harry and Meghan?
I think the interview was really an iron fist in a velvet glove.
She did ask the tough questions. She had to ask the tough questions.
It was not a balanced interview.
But at the same time, I think she did ask those questions in a sympathetic light.
Oprah is a friend and gave them an easy ride.
And certainly favouring Harry and Meghan.
She was totally sympathetic. And there is a great deal in it that the palace will find deeply concerning.
Were you surprised in the interview to hear Meghan's comments about Prince William?
To hear her talking about members of the royal family didn't surprise me at all. I think she was very unwise to do it, but she's the kind of woman that, wants her say.
Meghan used extremely strong language to describe her relations with members of the royal household.
Meghan spoke about her love of animals. Obviously, in the interview, Meghan talked about the Balham Donkey Sanctuary. What does that tell us about Meghan's character?
Meghan talked about her love of animals, love of dogs, love of the Donkey Sanctuary.
In the interview, the nicest thing about Meghan was that she, it's her love of animals.
She does have a love of animals, but that's only one side of her. That's a domestic side.
Is there a Donkey Sanctuary in Balham, Josh?
I don't think there is, no, but that didn't seem to concern our royal correspondent.
So, and obviously, as far as we know, there are no specific comments about Prince William either, but that, of course, just adds to the sense of fun. But there's some seriousness underpinning the fun here, Archie. Why did you do this?
Ultimately, these are the kind of people that wear cashmere on breakfast television sets and once shared a taxi with Princess Margaret and feel that they've got a sort of insight into the royal family. They are then duping both media organisations and the public with their views that arguably, and it's up to our viewers and your listeners to make their own minds up, and arguably are not informed. And that's shaping what is, I think, now becoming quite a toxic debate. And we did not target royal correspondents. We did not target Tim Shipman or Nicholas Witchell, Chris Ship or Nicholas Witchell, or anybody who's a proper journalist. These are people that have set themselves up as experts. They're not journalists. And we also asked very open-ended questions. It was, did Oprah go too soft?
Yes.
And we didn't give them lines. The only 2 lines we gave them were so ludicrous that we almost did it as a chance. There isn't a Balham donkey sanctuary. There's no way. Vaccine, when we had the arbiter say, would be selfish for not taking the vaccine.
Yes, we didn't play that bit out. That was very topical, I suppose, but also, a point at which one would imagine some alarm bells would go off, which makes me wonder whether did you target other people who did see through the ruse, or did everybody come through that you went after?
It turns out that royal experts are very keen to pass on their expertise,
for which we should all be grateful. Josh, do you want to tell my listeners a little bit more about the work that you both do? Take the opportunity to speak to this enormous audience, which is no doubt a tiny fraction of your YouTube following.
I don't know about that. So Archie and I have a YouTube channel where we often try and pose experiments, ask questions, and explain those questions in a video. We've done a video recently where we nominated Gemma Collins for the Nobel Peace Prize and had our nomination submitted successfully. We've sold Deliveroo meals from my kitchen in my flat. So lots of interesting stuff like that. You can check us out on YouTube, and this was our latest video, and we're happy it's gone well and hope that everyone's enjoyed it.
Josh Peters and Archie Manners, thank you very much indeed for your time. You've also, just glancing at my own inbox, you've worked wonders for my credibility among younger listeners. So that's got to be making it all worthwhile for all 3 of us. There you go. And of course, the 4 royal experts mentioned there: Dickie Arbiter, Victoria Arbiter, Richard Fitzwilliams and Ingrid Seward are more than welcome to put their side of the story on this programme as well. The more than merry.
Hey y'all, welcome to Sussexful, hosted by Emma. Today we dive into James O'Brien's sharp breakdown of how royal experts exposed themselves. And honestly, the prank pulled off by Josh and Archie was pure genius. They showed how some commentators had already made up their minds before the interview even happened. No facts, no context, just a predetermined script. The donkey sanctuary detail was brilliant and showed the lengths these so-called experts will go for attention. What Meghan has been saying all along about propaganda and, hypocrisy is now laid bare. No tabloid will put this on the front page, but Sussexful will. Bravo to Josh and Archie for revealing the fraud. Absolute comedy gold, but also a serious reminder of how the media manipulates narratives for profit. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Sussexful for more powerful breakdowns that cut through the noise. Exposing the hypocrisy of royal commentators. These so-called royal experts have clearly demonstrated their biases and predetermined narratives, regardless of the actual content of the interviews they purport to analyze. Instead of approaching the discussion with an open mind and a commitment to fair, impartial analysis, they have chosen to prioritize their own agendas and media profiles over honest, ethical journalism. The YouTubers who orchestrated this prank have brilliantly exposed the hypocrisy at the heart of this industry, revealing the disconnect between the veneer of authority these commentators project and the reality of their shoddy, agenda-driven reporting. It is a damning indictment of the state of modern media and a clarion call for greater accountability and transparency in the coverage of public figures. The predetermined narrative, y'all, was just so obvious. Commentators had clearly formulated a story about the interview before it even took place, one that was entirely divorced from the actual content and substance of the discussion. Their minds were made up, determined to push a certain angle regardless of what was actually said. These so-called expert commentators were more concerned with reinforcing their preconceived notions and, honestly, growing their own media profiles than providing an honest, objective analysis. It's a sad indictment of the state of modern journalism, where sensationalism and clickbait often triumph over truth and nuance. But thankfully, the prank pulled by Archie and Josh has shown a much-needed light on this disturbing trend, exposing the hypocrisy and propaganda that the public is all too often subjected to. The prank setup was, well, just genius. Archie and Josh, two savvy YouTubers, orchestrated a clever prank by impersonating none other than Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, exploiting the eagerness of so-called royal experts to offer commentary on the royal couple. The YouTubers set up a fake interview that perfectly highlighted the predetermined narratives and hypocrisy that often permeate media coverage. Despite the clear signs that this was not a genuine interview, the experts eagerly jumped at the opportunity to air their views, oblivious to the ruse unfolding right in front of them. The YouTubers' brilliant execution, complete with amusing details like the donkey sanctuary, has exposed the unfortunate reality that many in the media are more concerned with growing their own platforms than reporting the truth. This prank serves as a powerful testament to Meghan's point about the propaganda and misinformation that the public is constantly subjected to. The donkey sanctuary detail in the prank was simply brilliant. I mean, really. By cleverly inserting a reference to a fictional donkey sanctuary into their fabricated interview, the pranksters highlighted the shoddy research and predetermined narratives peddled by so-called royal experts. These self-proclaimed authorities were all too eager to comment on and dissect a conversation that never actually took place, revealing their willingness to spread misinformation just to maintain their media status and influence. The inclusion of this absurd detail was a masterful stroke, exposing the superficial nature of these commentators' analysis and their lack of genuine insight into the actual lives and experiences of the royal family. This prank was a brilliant and much-needed wake-up call, reminding us all to be skeptical of the sensationalized coverage and unfounded speculation that so often passes for journalism these days. Despite the blatant exposure of the commentators' predetermined narratives, it's honestly pretty telling that no tabloids or mainstream media outlets published the story. The lack of coverage just further highlights the complicity of these outlets in perpetuating a false and sensationalized portrayal of the royal family. The refusal to shine a light on this embarrassing episode, well, it really speaks volumes about the insular and self-serving nature of the media ecosystem surrounding the royals. It's a damning indictment that these so-called expert commentators will likely continue earning money and accolades through future news interviews, all while the public remains none the wiser about their casual disregard for the truth. Kudos to the YouTubers Archie and Josh for their brilliant prank that pulled back the curtain on this whole charade. The prank executed by Josh and Archie was, honestly, nothing short of sheer brilliance. In a world where faux royal correspondents often peddle predetermined narratives regardless of the facts, these two young YouTubers have exposed the hypocrisy and propaganda that the public is routinely subjected to. Their clever ruse has revealed the true nature of these so-called expert commentators, individuals more concerned with maintaining their media status and earning a quick buck than reporting the truth. And, the donkey sanctuary detail was a stroke of genius, perfectly encapsulating the absurdity of the situation. This prank really is a testament to the power of satire and the importance of holding the media accountable. Bravo to Josh and Archie for their masterful execution, and to James O'Brien for amplifying their message. This is exactly the kind of exposure that Meghan Markle and others have been calling for. These YouTubers are, without a doubt, the true legends in this story. The hypocrisy revealed by this prank, orchestrated by Archie and Josh, has honestly, brilliantly exposed the predetermined narratives that dominate media coverage around the royal family. Even though there was really no actual substance in the interview, these so-called expert commentators were just so quick to jump at the chance to push their own agendas and, grow their own platforms, no matter what the truth actually was. This whole incident serves as a powerful reminder of the kind of propaganda and spin that the public is constantly subjected to, where, more often than not, facts take a backseat to sensationalism and preconceived notions. The seamless execution of this prank, especially with that delightful donkey sanctuary detail, has rightfully earned Archie and Josh the praise of folks who want to hold the media accountable for its biases and, really, its lack of integrity. This episode stands as a testament to why critical thinking is so important, and why we need to keep questioning the narratives that are so eagerly fed to us by people who claim to be authorities on the subject. The importance of accountability really comes into sharp focus here. This prank holds the commentators accountable for their lack of journalistic integrity. By exposing their willingness to just fabricate narratives and make assumptions without actually verifying the facts, Josh and Archie have shone a light on the troubling state of modern media commentary. Way too often, these so-called experts seem more interested in pushing a predetermined agenda than in giving thoughtful, balanced analysis. This stunt, honestly, serves as a powerful reminder that accountability is essential for upholding the principles of responsible journalism. It's a testament to why fact-checking and keeping an open mind matters so much, rather than just giving in to the temptation of crafting sensational stories. The success of this prank really underscores the urgent need for greater transparency and integrity in the media landscape. Now, the impact on media status is pretty clear. The commentators will, without a doubt, keep making money and growing their media status through other news interviews, even after the embarrassment they faced here. These so-called experts have built their whole careers on spinning narratives and offering commentary that's often, honestly, divorced from the actual facts. By falling for this prank, they've shown just how hollow their punditry can be. Still, they'll keep going, feeling pretty secure knowing that a compliant media ecosystem will give them plenty of other chances to, hold forth on the latest royal developments. The real victims in all this are the viewers and readers who rely on these commentators to provide insightful and impartial analysis. But instead, they're served up a steady diet of predetermined storylines and unfounded speculation. This prank truly was the kind of exposure that was needed to show the predetermined narratives and biases that so many so-called royal experts bring to their coverage of the royals, especially Meghan Markle. By tricking these commentators into analyzing a totally fake interview, Archie and Josh have, honestly, highlighted how these experts often have their minds made up before they've even seen the actual facts or content. It's a pretty damning indictment of the hypocrisy and the propagandistic nature of so much royal reporting, where the narrative seems to matter way more than the truth. That donkey sanctuary detail was a particularly clever touch, just showing how little attention these experts are actually paying to the substance of what they're discussing. This prank is exactly the kind of exposure Meghan Markle has been trying to shine a light on. The blatant bias and lack of integrity in the media's coverage of her and the royals. Archie and Josh really should be commended for so skillfully pulling back the curtain on this problem.